Such a shame to interrupt a beautiful song. These are the Notables, a quartet with the Tidesmen Barbershop Chorus here in Nanaimo, and they're going to be serenading us for the next hour right here on the show. Also standing by at our Bow Band studio here in Nanaimo, some lingerie models from My Undies. We are getting sexy today. And speaking of that, Vida Turok is here. She's with the Vitamin House, and she's creating rocolat. That's raw chocolate. Have you got the theme? We got a little bit of a theme going on. We're getting a little bit mushy because Valentine's Day is just around the corner, and so is the Maple Sugar Festival. They're back after a one-year hiatus. It seems so quiet now all of a sudden. We've also got some serious stuff on the agenda today. The coldest night of the year is a fundraiser for the Island Crisis Care Society. It takes place on February 25th. Shaw TV has a team. We're going to tell you more about it later in the show. And who's behind the Masque? It's a fundraiser for the Haven Society. Probus is an extension of Rotary International, and prostate cancer. There's a local survivor who is stepping up to help others. All that's coming up in the next hour right here on the show. To help those who are having troubles meeting the basic needs like food, shelter, and clothing, the Island Crisis Care Society is holding a fundraiser, participating in a national fundraiser called Coldest Night of the Year. It takes place on February 25th. They've invited individuals to put teams together or participate in the event as an individual and freeze your butt off on February the 25th. Shaw TV has a team. We'll get into a little bit more about how you can participate in that. But first of all, Violet Hayes is with the Island Crisis Care Society. Thanks for coming today, Violet. What is it that the Island Crisis Care Society does?
Well, we try and help those that can't really help themselves. We started back in 1989 with Samaritan House, which is now the only shelter for women, for the homeless women in Nanaimo. And we have other homes, crisis stabilization, and also supportive recovery homes.
And it focuses really on the shelter.
Yes, yeah. We're trying to provide a warm, dry place for people to come and where they can be cared for. And so many times people are in crisis. It might be, you know, a whole bunch of situations that come into their lives. Sometimes someone might get divorced and then lose their job, and you know, many things come along, and people find themselves in those situations. And so,
I thought the analogy in that little video was pretty good. Every snowflake is different, and so is everybody's story and situation. There's a religious background or a religious foundation to the Crisis Care Society. Touch on that.
Yes. It was actually back in the late 80s that a group of people from different churches in Nanaimo just recognized that there was a need. There was no shelter at that time, and so they got together and purchased the building that we're currently in on Nickel Street, and they started a shelter. In those days it was for men and women, but then when the Salvation Army opened up their shelter, we changed to become women only. And yeah, so it still is a Christian organization, but we're just trying to show the love of God to people in the community.
How big is the need out there right now in Nanaimo?
Quite big. We have 20 beds and in the women's shelter, and we're usually running, you know, maybe 60–70%, and then we also have 4 transitional suites upstairs. But then we also have our other homes, where most of them are 6-bed, smaller homes, and they're more for people that are in some sort of transition. Yeah.
Coldest night of the year, taking place on February the 25th. Yes. Lots of support. I've mentioned a few times, and I'll do it again. I'll start asking for pledges soon for our Shaw TV team, because I haven't quite gotten into that fundraising mode yet. But you got a lot of teams signed up already.
Yeah, I think we have 11 right now, so we're really excited. The business community seems to be really picking up on it, and that's great. So yeah, we're just really encouraging teams. Our goal is $25,000. So yeah, I think we're at 5,000 now, so it's just growing every day. We're seeing more teams.
And how does it work? We're not, I was sort of, Jocelyn, our team leader, asked me to go and participate in this, and I was actually kind of excited about spending a whole night outside, but we're not asking people to do that. 5 to 10 kilometers, a couple of hours. Maybe take me through the event and how it works.
I decided I'd do 10 because I wanted to challenge myself, and but actually when you think about it, we are so blessed here to live in a community where, you know, it doesn't get really cold. So to walk 10 kilometers, I figure, is not too bad. But yeah, you can just go online and sign up at the coldestnightoftheyear.org, and it's so well laid out. You just click on the buttons to start a team or actually join a team, and yeah, it just walks you through it.
And then we, on that actual night, I think it's 4 until 8 o'clock, we do a loop through the downtown core, walking for the pledges, and just to get a little bit of a sense of what it might be like. Just a real small glimpse into what people might have to deal with every day. Yeah. And we're fortunate enough, I think one of the trademarks in your group are these toques. Yes. Yeah. So everyone will be wearing these as they're going through the walk.
Yeah, everyone gets a toque, and we're starting at St. Paul's Anglican Church, and then we're going to do either the 5 kilometer or the 10, and then we're going to end up back and have some chili. So. Yeah.
I feel like I should be putting one of these on, but if it was the end of the show, I'd mess up my hair and put it on, but I still got a whole other show to go to, so
I know, I will be wearing mine too.
And it's hot in here. We have all the lights. Violet, thank you so much for coming in, and again, I want to encourage people to visit the website coldestnightoftheyear.org. You can look up individuals, you can look up teams, you can make anonymous pledges and donations, lots of ways to collect that money. Hold me to it and say, hey, Kate, come on by and pick up a check, and I will, because it's a great event. Is it the first time in Nanaimo?
Yes,
yeah, first one in Nanaimo, so let's make an impact, let's make a difference.
And it's across Canada.
And it's across Canada. We didn't even get to that. Check out the website, there's a lot of information there. We're going to throw things over now to Tara Keeping. She's here with Vida Turok, and they are looking at Rocolat.
Thanks, Kate. That's right. We're going to be talking about chocolate. We have Vida here from the Vitamin House, which is located at the Canadian Tire Plaza. And not only are we going to be talking about chocolate, because Valentine's Day is right around the corner, but it is healthy chocolate. It is raw chocolate, a superfood.
It's a superfood. It's actually the highest antioxidant food in the whole entire world.
Wow, who would have thought that? Now, what's the difference? Tell us why that is, the difference between raw chocolate and regular chocolate.
Well, the difference stems with the beans and the way they're dried. So your bean comes, this is what the bean looks like. It's a cacao bean. And what they do is in South America, where they're grown, they ferment these from 2 to 7 days in banana leaves, and then they take them up to a high altitude and let them dry naturally via the warmth of the sun. So they take the moisture out, and that's what makes it this hard bean. Commercial chocolates are roasted at a very high temperature, and that with what I'm looking for, to keep the drying time go faster. So.
And also the way it's cooked as well, because raw chocolate, you don't have it it's at a certain temperature. Is that correct as well?
That's true too. So when you're making the chocolate, you also want to keep the temperature at a certain degree. So I never go above 113 degrees.
So what are we going to make? Tell us what we're making here. Because there's so many. There's the type of base. So the base is always the same, correct? So these are the ingredients of all the base.
So this is what I use when I make my raw chocolate. All chocolate is made with using the cacao butter as well as cacao powder. The powder comes, and the butter actually comes from what we call nibs. And what they do, these are the cacao nibs, which are broken down from the bean. And what they do is they separate the fat, which is the butter, and the cake, which is the powder, and then I bring it back together again. Great. Just like the masters do.
Just like the masters do. And you know what? It's so good that we have 2 more segments with you, because we're finished here, but we're going to be back with you soon.
I'm going to interrupt. I'm getting pretty good at interrupting people when they're getting to the good stuff. And when you're talking about chocolate, it's always good stuff. I do know that this is a true passion for Vida, because I'm a friend with her on Facebook, and she's always talking about what she's doing just for pleasure in the kitchen. And we have the pleasure of checking out more of that today later on in the show. So we'll do that. But for now, this is the show. It's a cooperative live production between Shaw TV staff and volunteers, and we've had a volunteer behind the scenes for a little while now, Tally Campbell, and we're thrilled to be welcoming him on the show in front of the cameras. He's, I think, one of the most active people in this community that I know. He's only 17 and is way more involved than most of the grown-ups I encounter. So it is a pleasure to have Tally Campbell.
Well, thank you, Kate. Every year, over 3,000 women and children in the mid-Vancouver Island area seek to support, deal with issues of abuse and violence in the Haven society. And that number keeps increasing, which means the financial need is more than ever. An event called Who's Behind the Masque helps that financial burden. Today, we are joined by the event planner, Shelley Anderson, and the Human Resource and Business Manager, Gina Prescott. Welcome. Gina, we're going to start with you first. Explain the programs the Haven Society offers.
Everyone knows about the Transition House. It's a pretty common program of ours. We also have women's counseling, children who witness abuse counseling. community victim services in both Nanaimo and Parksville, and outreach services in both Nanaimo and Parksville.
Wow, and now is this free of charge?
It is free of charge.
Wow. Now we're going to go to Shelley. Now you're the event planner. We have this beautiful picture here. Explain this to us, Shelley.
This picture is a symbol that actually it's like a picture that says 1,000 words. It just brings out what children and women go through about abuse. When they're abused, they hide behind things. So this sort of brought a lot of memories back for me as a child and actually as a wife as well.
Yeah, because you were abused in your first marriage. Now, how long did this abuse last for?
It lasts for about 6 years. I did try and leave a few times. When you leave, you just, you're scared, you don't know what to do, you have your child. And then I went back a few times as well. The breaking point, though, was when he actually hit me in front of my child. So, and I realized that I didn't want her to think that this is the way her life is supposed to be.
So why is it so hard to get out?
It's not just physical abuse, it's mental abuse as well. So when they tell you you're not good enough and you're not capable of being out on your own, you'll never make it, you actually start believing it after a few years. So, and then you don't realize there's somewhere out there that can help you, and that's where Haven comes in. They're there, and they're there to help the women and the children, so you do have somewhere to go.
Yeah, so what does being abused do to your self-esteem?
You don't have any. You're embarrassed, you're ashamed of yourself. You think you're the one who does it all the time. What did I do or say to make them hit me, sort of thing. So it's pretty tough.
So what advice do you have for others out there who have not gotten the strength to get out of an abusive relationship?
You're better than that. You know, you can do it. And with help from Haven, you can do it. There's help out there. Go seek it out.
Yeah. And now, well, Shelley now wants to give back by putting on this gala for the Haven Society. Explain what this gala is.
The Haven Society has many little fundraisers, and last year I decided that I wanted to help them by giving back. So I decided to come up with this Haven Society Gala. And behind the mask means because when we are abused, we hide. We're hiding behind sunglasses or we hide behind masks so people can't see what had happened to us. And I thought that was just a perfect fit for it. So it's just to help give back to the Haven.
Yeah, so you know, date, time, place, where's it all happening?
Yeah, it's February 24th, Friday night at the Coast Bastion. Starts at 6:30. It's live auction, silent auction, full dinner event, black tie, so you get to dress up, put a mask on, and really feel what it's like with that mask on. Last year I put an event on, and it was amazing how people can relate to the abuse of being hiding behind a mask.
And how much money did you raise last year?
We raised $46,800 thanks to the community and the people that get involved. If you want to come and get involved, it's so important.
That's incredible. And this year you want to just topple that goal?
Hopefully, yeah, that's what we're
awesome.
hoping
Thank
for.
you for two of you coming in. That again is February 24th at the Coast Bastion. Tickets are $120 per person or $1,000 table at 10. To reserve your table, do call Shelley at 250-268-2522 or email her at sanderson@itccomputers.ca. We still come up on the show today. We have our lingerie fashion show. You definitely don't want to miss this. I know I'm staying tuned for it.
When skies are cloudy and gray, they're only gray for a day. So wrap your troubles in dreams and dream your troubles away, until that sunshine peeps through. There's only one thing to do, just wrap your troubles in dreams and dream your troubles away. Your castles may tumble, that's fate after all. Life's really funny that way. No need to grumble, smile as they fall. Weren't you king for a day? So just remember that sunshine always follows the rain. So wrap your troubles in dreams and dream your troubles away. Oh, dream, just dream your troubles away. I said dream, just dream your troubles away. Castles may tumble, that's fate after all. Life's really funny that way. Hey, no need to grumble, just smile as they fall. Weren't you king for a day? Just remember that sunshine always follows the rain. So wrap your troubles in dreams and dream your troubles away. Just dream your troubles away.
And the sunshine does have a way of making you dream your troubles away. This quartet is called the Notables. They are part of the Nanaimo Tidesmen Barbershop Chorus. Now, when I told my colleague here at Shaw TV, Derek, who's right behind that camera right now, that these guys were coming in today, he said, "Oh, yay!" And he was very excited, more excited than he was about the lingerie fashion show that's coming up later in the show. And Derek, I'll have a couple words with you about that later on. Now, the Tidesmen have been in Nanaimo since 1972. Derek's laughing. People really, really love this music. I'm going to bring Roy Sage in here. He's the president of the Tidesmen. What is it about this style of music that people like Derek love so much?
Well, it's the harmony, of course, that close harmony which just grabs you and turns you on. But it's harmony in many more ways too, because we're a harmonious group. People often ask me what male barbershop is all about, and I say, well, it's a male support group that sings. Right. We get harmony there. And we try to generate harmony in the world around us through our singing, of course, but also through charity. We do fundraisers. We're singing in April as a fundraiser for St. Andrew's Church downtown. That's the key, harmony in every aspect.
And now you have, as I mentioned, been together since 1972 as a group, and there are some original members.
There
but you're not
are
all
indeed.
old guys. There's a whole range.
There's a whole range, actually, yes. We could do with a few more younger guys, but the youngest fellow who sings regularly is about 19, and the oldest is probably close to 90. We have a real range of singers, yeah. We're some of the better looking ones, of course.
Yes. That's why they sent you guys.
That's
to the TV
right.
show
Yes,
today.
indeed. Yeah.
A real tight group, then. Real friendship.
Very
real
tight.
camaraderie.
Huge.
Yeah.
Absolutely. That's what it's all about.
Okay. Practice a lot. That's another note I had here.
We practice every week, every Monday at the Departure Bay Baptist Church, and anyone's welcome to come down and listen to us sing. And if you want to get on the risers with us, if you're male, then we'd love to have you there.
Now, is there an audition process? Do you have to have a voice to work with in the first place, or can you start from nothing?
You don't need a
I
lot,
haven't heard
actually.
Derek sing. Derek, can you sing? No.
You don't need a lot. You have to love singing, obviously.
Yeah.
You have to be able to eventually learn to sing your part and hold it against others. But you don't need to read music. We'll teach you everything you need to know. And we don't sing with music, as you notice. We sing totally from memory. So you memorize your songs, and we sing them, and we love it.
Now, for the people who don't know anything about this type of music, and we're going to get to some details on how you can get these guys serenading your loved ones on Valentine's Day in just a minute, but there's even a structure to how you're formed here.
Yes,
and that's a big part. So you are the...
I sing the baritone part,
Okay.
which is slightly different from what people think is a baritone. It's really like a melody line, but following the real lead who sings the true melody. That's Chris in our quartet.
Okay.
We have a bass, of course, the foundation. That's Glenn. And we have a tenor, but the tenor sings a high note, more like an alto range in conventional choirs.
Okay.
So that's the four, but in very close harmony, really tight together.
Sounds great. It's very relaxing to have you guys here in the studio. I've been given the 1-minute cue. I think I'm doing pretty good with staying on time today. So, Valentine's Day is a big time of year. It's a tradition here in Nanaimo to get the quartets out. Tell me about it.
We get quartets out anywhere from Duncan to Qualicum.
How many of you are running around on Valentine's Day? How many quartets?
It depends. We could get 5 or 6 quartets out, as many as people want to listen to, and sometimes they'll do 15 or 20 gigs in a day, so there's a lot of quartets, a lot of singing, and it's $50. Gives you a rose, 2 songs for your loved one, your sweetheart, male or female, a card, and a souvenir photograph. And it's wonderful. It's the best day of the year.
I bet you've delivered a few engagement rings, too, in the past.
We have, that's right, absolutely. Oh, we've had some real adventures. We'll tell you some of those later.
And we'll hear more from you guys later in the show. Thank you very much. The Notables are with the Nanaimo Tidesmen Barbershop Chorus, and we'll have more with them later in the show. Now, there's a gentleman who is up next in the hosting chair. I have never actually heard him sing, but I have seen him in some pink get-ups that maybe I should not have actually seen him in, but he struts around in public like this sometimes on Valentine's Day. I'm speaking of a man who is very closely related to Rotary International, Mr. Bob Fenty.
Thanks, Kate. And yes, I have been known to get dressed up in red, but only for Heart and Stroke and for a really good cause to raise some money. Today we have with us the Canadian president of Probus International.
No, Probus Canada.
Probus Canada, I'm sorry. Keith Trail. Keith, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much.
And tell me, how does you get around with Probus, and how long has it been around?
Probus has been in Canada since the late 80s. It started in Cambridge, Ontario. It started before that in England, and it was originally known as the Campus Club.
How is Probus tied in with with Rotary and Rotary International?
Rotary International has one of their objectives to sponsor Probus clubs in various places. Today we have a website, probus.org, and there are 23 different countries around the world that have a spot on the website. A lot of them I can't tell you what it says because I don't understand the language. And in Canada we have 214 clubs, most in Ontario. On Vancouver Island, including Salt Spring Island, we have 23 clubs.
How many in Nanaimo?
5 clubs in Nanaimo so far.
And how many members do we have in Nanaimo?
About 1,100.
Really? So I guess we should back up a little bit and say that Probus really is professional, P-R-O, business, B-U-S,
Yes.
Retired business people. Is that correct, Keith?
It's an association of retired persons enjoying life.
And do you get involved in, like Rotary gets involved in all kinds of fundraising activities, and do you do that sort of thing as well?
2 activities that we don't do that Rotary does is you don't have to attend the meetings, and we don't have any fundraising.
I'm sure you do get out and help, though, with Rotary clubs from time to time, do you?
At times, yes, they do.
So what would if I became a Probus member, what would I hope to gain by being a member?
Fellowship, meet new people, enjoy things that you couldn't do when you weren't working.
And when you have your meetings, you meet monthly, I guess, is it?
Once a month, and we have a speaker. And now the club that I belong to, we meet every month except August and December.
Oh, really?
August we have a picnic, and December we have a Christmas lunch.
So how do you find your speakers?
Well, you look around for them, and not only that, you keep in touch with other clubs and hopefully get some ideas for speakers from them.
Oh, wonderful. So you've been a Probus member for how long, Keith?
Just over 10 years.
And as Canadian president, does that require, like Rotary International, we have a district governor and so on, and his responsibility is to travel from club to club to club and visit all those clubs. Do you have similar responsibilities to visit various clubs?
Probus Canada has 12 directors. There's 1 in the Maritimes, 6 in Ontario, 1 for Manitoba and Saskatchewan, 1 in Alberta, 1 in the Kelowna region, 1 in the Lower Mainland, and myself for Vancouver Island and Salt Spring Island.
So you do a fair bit of traveling then, on the island and over the mainland?
It can be a lot of traveling, but we don't have a lot of money, so the travel is not too big a thing.
Not a priority.
No.
Well, Keith, it's been a great pleasure to have you here today and talking about Probus. And can anybody join locally?
Anybody can if you're retired.
You're retired. Well, I'm certainly glad to have you, and I'm sure we'll hear more about Probus as we go along. And now I'm going to throw to Tara, who's got some wonderful chocolates. Tara?
Thanks. We're back with Vida from the Vitamin House, and we're going to talk about the history of raw chocolate because it's fairly new. It's a buzzword these days, raw. So tell us about the history of raw chocolate.
Well, Tara, the history actually stems back to about 500 BC, where the Mayans actually, this was their currency. They used cacao beans as a currency, and they never cooked it. They never roasted it because there wasn't that opportunity. So they knew the benefits of raw chocolate back then. And it's coming new because the fact is chocolate not only has the highest antioxidants of any superfood, but it's also extremely high in magnesium, very high in iron, hence that's why women want it at that time of the month, as well as it's also the other benefit of it, it's got a hormone called phenylethylamine, which is short for PEA, which mimics that love hormone, that feeling of bliss, the feeling of love. And it's really higher,
like it more than men.
and it's really higher in raw chocolate because it hasn't been roasted or heated at high temperatures.
And of course the Mayans, I can see they created it. I can see that, the history of that. So again, folks at home, that's what it is, the world's superfood then.
It is the world's superfood.
There you have it. You have it. You have it on live there. All right, and speaking of sweetness, we have the Maple Sugar Fest. It's now back for another year.
I'm pretty pumped looking at this promo. This is an event, the Maple Sugar Festival, that brings the Francophone and the Anglophone community here in Nanaimo. It brings them together. It's been bringing them together for the past 10 years, and they're going to come back for the 11th year for this wonderful event. They're going to have more entertainment, more food, more entertainers than ever. To talk to us about the event, we've got Joanne Hogan from the Maple Sugar Festival Organizing Committee. Welcome, Joanne.
Merci. It's a pleasure, c'est un grand plaisir to speak about the Maple Sugar Festival du Sucre d'Érable, which, as you've said, is coming back for its 11th edition this year. After taking a one-year sabbatical, we're back bigger and better than ever, and we're really looking forward to presenting this event in our new venue, same park, Bebin Park, but it's in Bebin Auditorium, the social center. So we'll have the pleasure of presenting an event in one venue, indoors, with no concern about any inclement February weather.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So you're back from hiatus. You took a year hiatus, but you did have a kind of a short event last year. What was the reason last year to not have the event, and you came back this year? So
yes. Well, there was a bit of a change over. Some funding cuts occurred. Our long-time hardworking employee left. A new employee came on board. A new board came on that was largely comprising new members. So we thought we'd just scale it back a bit for 1 year and then go ahead and bring back the full-fledged festival this year.
Bring it back with a vengeance, as they say. So talk to us about what's taking place, some of the entertainers and the food and all the excitement. I'm so excited for the toffee on snow. That's my favorite part.
Ah, yes, you must have a sweet tooth.
I do.
I mean, Dunya, you're just going to enjoy it. We get the freshest snow from Mount Washington once again this year, and we roll the toffee out on the snow, and the kids of all ages from 9 to 90 enjoy, I can tell you, the toffee on snow. And also what we're going to offer again is the tourtière, the meat pies that everybody loves so much.
Yum.
You can buy it on site, and if you want to keep on enjoying it after the festival, you can buy entire pies, bring that home as well. So it's a great combination of savory and sweet foods that are traditional French-Canadian foods. And of course, a lot of people have been asking us about this. Miss Poutine is back.
Woohoo!
So that will be the only,
awesome.
the only vendor that's going to be outside.
Nice.
And as you come in through the parking lot, you'll be able to try that French fry with the French fries and cheese curd once again. So it's a chance to delight in that traditional food as well.
My mouth is watering already, and the event is happening the weekend of between the 10th to the 12th of February, and it's full of things. If you'd like to learn more, you can go to their website. The website is francophonenanaimo.org. Thank you so much, Joanne, for being here, and I'm sure it's going to be a great event, and I'll make sure to attend. Merci beaucoup.
Merci et bienvenue.
Now we're going to just go to the break, but we'll come back with more fun stuff.
And now, back to the show, only on Shaw TV.
You are watching the show, our live-to-tape studio production here in Nanaimo. We've got a huge number of people in the studio tonight. We're actually recording on a Monday evening. It's broadcast at various times for a 2-week period. But we've got a lot of new volunteers in here. We've got a few staff on the crew today. And we've also got a lot of guests. We've got some models coming up later in the show. And that's what I love, the behind-the-scenes networking and chit-chatting and talking that happens. It's a whole lot of fun. We even have our floor director, Melissa Hall, dancing behind the camera. So we're threatening to throw a camera on her for that next time. We're going to turn things to a little bit, well, a very serious topic actually next. Prostate cancer. It kills about 4,100 men every year, and that number is rising because the population is getting older. 1 in 7 men are diagnosed with the disease. Court Brooker is our guest today. He was diagnosed with prostate cancer in 2007, and through that experience, he realized that there wasn't a lot of information or a lot of support for people who are having to deal with this in their lives. There wasn't a lot available to him, and he set out and is still working on changing that. Court, you're a survivor and now an advocate for prostate cancer information, support. You do it all on your own time, out of the kindness of your own heart. do what? What is it that you're doing?
Well, several things, but thank you very much for having me here today.
Our pleasure.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
But I did have prostate cancer, and those numbers that you had mentioned, that is in just Canada alone.
Right.
That's, of course, the U.S., you would take those numbers and multiply them by 10. But I had prostate cancer, was diagnosed in 2007, had a radical prostatectomy in January of 2008. And since then, I've been working with a prostate support group. I facilitate a group in Oceanside out of Qualicum Beach.
Yeah.
And we have a meeting on the first Tuesday of every month at 7 o'clock at night at the Gardens.
Right.
And strongly suggest that if there's anyone out there that has prostate cancer, is a family member of a prostate cancer survivor, anyone with prostate issues, to come out to one of our meetings. I'm not a big meeting guy.
What did it do for you? Why was it so valuable that you wanted to spend your time there and still continue to spend your time there?
Well, there's free coffee, which I didn't find here.
We haven't even given you any free coffee here today.
That's right. That's exactly it. But you've got the medical teams behind you. You may have your family. You may have some religious connections that you can get a resource from. But other survivors, people that have gone through it, are excellent resources and put a lot of people at ease when they come out to our sessions. So I'm not a big groupie kind of a person, and they're not morbid sessions. I find survivors are quite happy and
positive.
They're a
Maybe
survivor.
The positive
to the alternative is not too good.
I shouldn't laugh. We just got the 3-minute. We're halfway through our 6-minute session. You've been spending a lot of time, a lot of years, I think, on a survey to gather information from people who have experienced prostate cancer.
Well,
in a nutshell.
I found in our group that most people, when they contact me, they're concerned with two things. Number one or number two is survival and sexuality. Right. Sexuality issues are threatened through many of the treatments that are available for prostate cancer.
And men who get this disease aren't finished being sexually active yet. I mean, people are getting it in their 40s, in their late 30s, so it's not like you're done with that part of your life yet.
Well, I thought men were finished when they were 20.
No. That's debatable. I've heard they go on till they're 80 or 90, but anyways.
No, but it is a major issue, all joking aside. And some men actually choose sexuality over treatment.
Right.
And that usually means that's a very negative outcome.
Yeah.
So one thing that I met a doctor a few years ago. We put a survey together that we put out. I did the work on it. She's a renowned sexuality surveyor, doctor, excuse me, and we put a survey out that we had over around 650 respondents over a 1-year period, and those results are back now and are now available for people to look at. And some of the respondents shared just really interesting facts about their issues. And there is no one absolute answer to people when they ask questions about sexuality and prostate cancer. But if they go into a site that's called PCA, INAZ, PCAINAZ.org, they can see the summary results of that survey.
And that's a nice way to get some insight into the experience that other people have had and have that commonality to help yourself get through.
And the responses were very candid.
Got about, I say a minute, but I'm going to say 30 seconds left. Final, go to the website, join a support group. You're not done. What do you hope these results are going to, what's going to happen with these results now?
They'll help lots of survivors and their partners deal with prostate cancer and the sexuality issues and general prostate cancer issues.
And being taken into the medical community, hopefully, and used there as real factual
I think
data.
every newly diagnosed individual should read these results before they make a treatment decision.
Okay. Court, thank you.
Thank you.
I know it was quick and you've been here a long time, but it's been fun hanging out, and we still have a lingerie fashion show to get to. So I'm sure you'll, and coffee was great. He's being sarcastic. But you might get a piece of some raw chocolate because Tara Keeping and Vida Turok are standing by with the last tease of some yummy, sweet deliciousness.
Thanks, Kate. And again, back with Vida. Now, what I want to do is I want to talk about Vida the person, the story behind your raw chocolate, behind your Vitamin House. And I'm going to use my cheat sheet here because I don't want to miss anything out. Not only are you a registered sports nutrition advisor, registered natural products advisor, holistic, naturalistic consultant, health and wellness facilitator, and now a raw foods chef. Yes. Did I miss anything out? I'm sure there's other things.
I'm sure there's more, but that's pretty much it in a nutshell. Thanks.
So tell us our story. How did you get involved with the Vitamin House? How long have you been here? And then your story on to raw chocolate.
Okay. Well, briefly, in my mid-20s, I had major health issues such as depression, I had cardiovascular disease, I was a smoker, I was overweight, and I didn't want to go the medical route. I knew that there was more to what I was doing, had to do with the food that I was eating, my lifestyle, and I took it from there and went and just progressed from there, and I almost saw so many drastic changes in my own health from changing what I was putting into my body and my lifestyle, and that I knew that could be done. Right, and I wanted to educate people on that, and my journey started from just eating more whole food diet, exercise, as much as I could, and I got into the supplement industry because it was a really easy door opener, because when people start to change their health, if they have an issue and they don't want to go to the doctor and they want to try something more natural, they tend to go to a supplement store. Right? And so that was the first door opener for me, and it just progressed from there. And I've had the Vitamin House for 3.5 years now, and I absolutely love it. I'm able to connect with people straight up, but I got into raw food over a couple of years ago and took it from there because my passion changed. And the reason behind that was that a lot of the customers, a lot of people that I interacted with, gluten issues, dairy issues, you know, they couldn't have, you know, there was so many problems, allergies and health concerns, and that's one thing with raw food, and that there isn't any issues there, right? You can actually heal the body through raw food because there's no gluten used, there's no dairy used. And so for me, the chocolate was a really great, easy transition to educate people because they were more drawn to it. And one thing when I make these chocolates, there's no gluten, there's no dairy, there's no soy, but it's also diabetic friendly.
Oh, nice.
So those that have to watch their blood sugar levels, they can enjoy my chocolate without having any health issues.
Because you also specialize, again, I'm going to use my cheat sheets here, specializes in weight management, dietary restrictions, as well as the cardiovascular health and diabetes management, just to name a few. So that's good, all incorporated with education of food. Now, I got a question. I don't know if you can answer this or not, but you probably can. I know you can. Why do you think that we see all these like celiacs and gluten, people that can't have gluten, they have to be gluten-free? Why is that? It just seems like in the last, I'd say in the last 5 years, that it's very, very prevalent, and you hear a lot about it.
It is, and it's our food system's changed quite drastically. Our food system's not like it was 50 years ago, and it's changed, and there's a lot more manipulation with our food, and that's the whole thing about the raw food movement, is that the food is exactly the way nature intended it to be. It's unadulterated, it's untouched, it's pure.
And that's why we see a lot of problems. So
yes.
Okay, good. Yay, so we're gonna go back to chocolate making.
Yeah.
Now you've been doing a lot. You were putting with the coffee beans as well as the...
That's the fun thing. This is just the basics here that I'm using. This is just the basic chocolate? The melted stuff, right? And then I set it in the fridge, which is these ingredients here.
Okay.
But then I get to have fun because I get to add things like goji berries, right? Which are one of my favorite. If you've ever had these, absolutely favorites. You can add goji berries to it. I like to use essential oils like food grade, such as like orange.
So
that's a favorite.
Eat them as well.
You can eat it as well. And coffee beans, just a nice little touch for that extra boost.
And all the ingredients we can buy at the Vitamin House.
That is correct.
Good. So what, and can you tell us what these little guys are? Can they?
So this is, I was asked by Tara to make some chocolate and bring it in hand, so it was set, and that's what I did. So this is just the heart-shaped chocolate, just to coincide with Valentine's Day. Is very, just a plain raw chocolate, and then one of the things that I like is you can actually use spices, and this is a chipotle chocolate, which is an absolute favorite. And the chilies were used in raw chocolate back in the Mayan times as well. They would take chili peppers and combine them with cacao, so it's actually a match made in heaven using the hot with the sweet.
With the sweet, that would be. Do you use salt too? Because salt with sweet is very nice with chocolate as well.
Yes, and salt as well. I have many different ones. I sell the chocolates, which I call rocklets, at the store at the Vitamin House, and I have goji berry orange, I have goji almond, cashew apricot, buckwheaty crisp. And what buckwheaty crisp is I take buckwheat, I sprout it and then dehydrate it, and it's very crunchy.
And you just
it's like a rice crust, and you just add it into the chocolate, and you just sprinkle it in, and then you have little crispy chocolate.
There's just
it's pretty easy to do.
And we can do this at home. Like all these ingredients, if we go to the Vitamin House and buy this, we can do it at home, no problem.
Well, better yet, I do workshops in store on how to make your own.
And when are these workshops?
I have a workshop just in time for Valentine's Day this Sunday, February the 5th, starting at 1 p.m. Can contact me, Vida, at the Vitamin House to purchase a ticket, and you'll be able to make the chocolate just as I make here tonight and take it home.
Perfect.
And share it.
And can you give us your website and maybe a telephone number?
Our website is thevitaminhouse.ca, and telephone number is 250-390-9275.
Perfect. Thank you so much for coming here, Vida, and just educating us on healthy eating and everything. It was a pleasure having you. Anyways, we are going back to, hello there, Dunya, and this much-awaited lingerie fashion show.
Thank you very much, Tara. Well, just like chocolate, lingerie can make for a really, really, really cool gift for Valentine's Day. And we have so much selection out there. We don't know what to choose. Sometimes you get confused, like, what should I get? What should I wear? What should I buy for my wife? What should I buy for my husband? To clear all that up, we've got with us here today Brenda Simonson from My Undies Bra and Lingerie Store to share with us the latest on the lingerie fashion. We've also got a fashion show. So welcome, Brenda. Hi. Hi. So can you tell us what's the fascination about, what's the connection with Valentine's?
Valentine's and lingerie, it's the most romantic day of the year. It's when women this is probably the one day they dress up in lingerie, so it's our best season.
It is, actually. It is. And you in your store, My Undies, you guys have many different things for all kinds of shapes and sizes.
All shapes and sizes. We go extra small up to 2X. So,
wow. Sometimes it's pretty hard, especially for the plus size. It's to find something that, and sometimes you don't even
they feel comfortable in.
To feel comfortable, to feel also that, not shy about, to feel like it actually fits. So it's hard to find, but your store, you've got a lot of that stuff.
We have a lot of that stuff, and we'll take the time to fit you perfectly, so.
That's great.
And make sure it looks good, and you feel good too. So.
That's awesome. So let's get into the fashion show here. First of all, we've got Leilani. So Leilani's coming down here, and she's looking very, very beautiful.
Leilani's wearing a pink chemise. This is brand new for Valentine's Day. This can be worn with or without the garters and the stockings. And the stockings, we carry a huge selection of in our store.
Nice. I love the shoes.
The shoes are pretty too. Yeah, we're lucky she matched her shoes with the outfit.
And the nice gloves as well. It's a nice touch. She's got it all. The pink theme here.
That's the theme. Yeah.
And
gift wrap yourself for Valentine's Day.
That's absolutely.
Look at the pretty bows and. Yeah, it's very
pretty. And I guess this is the chemise, right?
Yes.
You're saying, and how?
It's a little bit longer.
I see, okay.
And sheer,
And sheer. Okay, that looks very, very nice. Thank you very much, Leilani. Next. We've got an excited crowd here in the studio. Up next, we've got Sun Sprite. I love her name.
Sun Sprite
looks really gorgeous with that beautiful white robe, doesn't she?
The nice sheer lace robe. Underneath, she's wearing a purple corset. And this can be worn either as bedroom lingerie, or this can be worn out. This can be worn under a blazer. This can be worn out to the clubs. And again, you can wear it with or without the garters. And we have these beautiful tattoo stockings in the store.
Nice.
And Sun Sprite's wearing a pair of those.
And I guess with corsets, you can wear them sometimes outside too. Like it's not just.
Oh yeah, it's not.
You can use them for a lot of different things.
A lot of different things. They're multi-purpose for sure. And they last forever. They never go out of style. A corset will never, no.
Never go out of style, for sure. And you were telling me before the show that one of the popular colors this year is purple.
Is purple. Purple's hot, and purple is actually our store colors.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Interesting,
yeah.
interesting. Very nice color. Thank you very much, Sunsprite. And up next, we've got
Emily.
We've got another beautiful model coming here, Emily.
Emily wearing another of our nice lace robes. And again, underneath with the corset. This is something else that's new in our store. And again, can be worn out or just in the bedroom. And again, this one's got the pretty bow detail on it. So you do feel like you're gift wrapped in something like this.
Looks very nice. And I guess for somebody who's really shy, what kind of some tips do you give people like, say, me?
Some women, well, actually a lot of us, there's certain areas of our body we are very self-conscious about. So yeah, as long as that area is covered, you feel fine.
And that's what the robe is good for, right?
I've had the shyest women who have never worn any type of lingerie come into the store and they put it on and it transforms you. As long as, you feel good in it. I've had a lady who was going on her 50th wedding anniversary on a cruise come in and buy.
Wow, very nice.
Yes, chemise. So.
And I guess that the corsets also are very slimming too.
They're very slimming, yeah. They're very flattering.
Looking very beautiful. Thank you very much, Emily.
Thanks, Emily.
Up next, we've got Ree. Ree is coming down up next, and she looks also just as beautiful.
Ree is wearing a baby doll.
Oh, that's cute.
So this, as
very
I was saying
sexy.
before, some women like to be covered. So this covers the tummy, it covers the thighs. There's no reason to feel self-conscious in this. It's just so sexy and so feminine.
And you were telling me also that red is actually men's favorite color.
Red is men, according to Playboy, red is men's favorite lingerie.
What is it about red?
I don't know. It's exciting, I guess.
It's
like,
exciting.
It's like red Porsches, red Corvettes,
That's
red
true.
lingerie.
Wrapping yourself in red paper, right?
Yep.
Very, very beautiful. I love the gloves too here, the nice touch. Thank you very much, Ree. And finally, we've got Kayla. Kayla again is wearing a baby doll. Baby doll.
And this would be a bedroom-only item. And this is nice. This is a new line we brought in. It has a larger cup size. So it's, if you're into a D, an E, or an F cup, this will fit you.
And I guess a baby doll is really nice for, it hides a lot of things.
It hides a lot of things, you don't feel it so exposed in the middle,
And so you guys have also, I hear that you've got a lot of bras in the store, right?
We do.
Custom fit bras. It's usually very hard.
This is only a portion of what we carry in the store, is the lingerie,
And so it's very hard to get a bra really fit. I heard that women rarely,
they rarely wear
have the wrong size
That's
bra,
right. They never have the right size. So we get a lot of that. They come in and they're shocked once we measure them, what size they really are. And then when they try on a bra that fits them well, it's amazing. It's so much more comfortable.
That's great. Well, thank you very much, Kayla. Now we're moving on to the men. We have only a minute left, so we can talk about, lingerie is not just for women. I want to buy something for my husband,
Look at this cute little number for men for Valentine's Day.
Hey, this is really nice for men. I think for men who are very confident, especially, maybe one of our, barbershop quartet would like to try that. It kind of suits them a little bit, the color theme there. But you also have these really...
This is selling like crazy. This is Saks. It's ergonomically designed men's underwear, and that's all I can say about it, but it's very comfortable.
It's very
and then
comfortable
we have the men's
fitting,
silk roads, we have men's pajamas, t-shirts, sleepwear, and that sort of thing.
That's awesome. Thank you very, very much. And I know you brought a whole bunch of,
we laid it all out
here, all sizes. And I see that you're carrying sizes up to J.
This is our biggest, G cup.
G and J, right?
This is an A cup.
Wow.
So we have everything in between.
That's great.
Yeah.
Well, for anybody who's interested, you can go to the website to find out more, myundies.ca, or you can go to the store. The address is? On
we're on
Fitzwilliam, right?
Fitzwilliam Street. Yeah, but
Okay,
can't
no,
remember the
that's
number. But yeah, go to our website because we have promos all the time and we have information on all the products that we carry. So.
Awesome. Thank you very much. Thank you for coming here and sharing all this with us.
And thank you so much. I was starting to wonder, I hope I might not catch any flack for that. It might have been pushing the boundaries just a little bit, but that's what I like to do, and we have a lot of fun here in the studio. When we do push things just a bit, it was all very tasteful. A lot of it is about confidence, and there is a real strong connection to a positive body image and self-confidence in women. And what other time to celebrate that besides Valentine's Day? That is my disclaimer, and I'll stick to it. How's that sound? We're going to wrap things up now. It's very interesting to hear that men's favorite color in lingerie is red, because the men that have been serenading us here for the show this past hour look very, very handsome in the red that they've been wearing. I'm going to encourage you to follow us on our social media outlets, Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. Thank you for watching. We'll see you next time. The Tidesmen Barbershop Quartet. These are the notables.
Heart of my heart, I love you. Life would be naught without you. Light of my life, my darling, I love you. I love you. I can forget you never. From you I never can say.